Welcome back into No Pulp, everyone. Juicer semifinals, part 2. We got Hudson Ridley, Max Gifford. Now, you guys are good friends. You guys want to shake hands before the semifinals?
We'll shake hands. Absolutely.
Is it all?
We'll shake
Okay,
hands.
good.
Oh,
I love to see the friendship here, even though it's a competition at the end of the day. We talked a lot of lacrosse last segment with Austin. Now we got some 2 other lacrosse ball knowers on the program. Question number 1, we're going to go to Hudson first. There's 1 point, by the way. Who will win the Women's Tourton Award?
Well, for me, this is pretty easy because it's someone who's put her team on her back all year long. Madison Taylor, to me, is the easy choice, not just because I'm a Northwestern Wildcat fan, but because of the fact that Madison Taylor right now is matching Izzy Skane's Tourton season from last year and still has at least 4 more games to go. 5.2 goals per game. She carries this team because you know what, Jordan? Despite leading the nation in points, nobody else at Northwestern is in the top 30 in points. BC, on the other hand, and North Carolina, they are juggernaut offenses. She has clawed Northwestern's way single-handedly to 3rd, and losing Izzy Skane and still having Madison Taylor fill that gap, that is the most valuable player in college lacrosse. Not just the best, but the most valuable. So if you want to look at it on either side of the coin, Madison Taylor wins both sides.
Max?
Yeah, so let's call a spade a spade. There's 2 right answers to this. One of them is Madison Taylor. The other one is a player who might fit the mold better than anyone to win the Tourton, and that is Rachel Clark out of Boston College. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what we think. It matters what the committee thinks. And the committee has always leaned on goal scorers and elite goal scorers. And while Madison Taylor might lead the nation in goals per game, does not lead the nation in goals. Rachel Clark has 91 of those, and the committee has never picked an attacker to win the award that has led power conferences in goals. Right now, Rachel Clark still leads it over Madison Taylor. And Taylor had a similar 2024, led Northwestern in points over Izzy Skane, but still Skane beat her because she was ahead of her in goals. The committee, at the end of the day, is always going to prioritize the goal scorers over those who just get points.
I agree. That's why Madison Taylor leads in goals per game.
I did look. I was doing the research, and I do agree with Max. They have not picked someone who hasn't led the nation in total goals. Max gets the first point. Max up 1-0. I will agree.
She's about to.
Both are total goals, though. Total goals. Both are great answers overall, I will say. Go to Hudson first here on the second question. This is a 2-pointer. Hottest team in college lacrosse heading into May, Hudson?
To me, it's Cornell. Right now, when you look at the strength of schedule that Cornell has had, they have blown every team out of the water. If you look at the number 1 in the RPI rankings, for some reason, it's Princeton. And you wonder why it's Princeton. Because just weeks ago, Cornell beat the brakes off of Princeton 15-10. It wasn't even close. The gap that Cornell has on everybody else right now is unreal. If you look at some other places in lacrosse, that gap is pretty slim. It's a 2-goal margin. Cornell is blowing teams out, and not just that, they have the most prolific goal scorer of all time, a diversified offense, a very solid defense that's locked down some of the best in the nation. I mean, right now, Cornell is at an unbelievable level to the point where we've had so much parity in college lacrosse this year, right? Like more than most years. There is only one thing that's for certain, is that Cornell has the best chance to run the table and crush so many teams down the line. They are so hot right now.
They are. Max?
Jordan and Austin spent plenty of time talking about this team in the first segment of this show. I've got North Carolina women's lacrosse as the hottest team in college lacrosse because not only have they been hot coming into May, they've been hot all season, and right now they are downright scorching. 18 straight wins. Only undefeated team in women's college lacrosse. And then you throw on top of that UNC just beat the number 2 team in Boston College for the 2nd time this season. This UNC team, oh my goodness, aren't they just fun? The one thing that Jordan and Austin did not mention was the fact that in this ACC championship, North Carolina had 9 different goal scorers. And Ashley Humphrey had no points. So not only do you have the depth of the team, but you have such a diversified offense and such a good defense too. They've beaten every team they've played so far this year, and they're only going to stay, I don't know, red hot, blue hot, because they're Carolina, I guess.
That's good.
That's why they're the hottest team in college lacrosse right now.
Both, I guess, have a diversified offense. I mean, I love myself a diversified portfolio in terms of economics, so we got that going on the offensive side. Hudson, I'm sorry. North Carolina hasn't lost this year. I mean, they just beat Boston College for the second time this season. They're the hottest team going into May. Max gave it up 3-0, but this question is worth 3 points. We go to the leader currently. Who will win the men's lacrosse national championship?
Hudson talked about it a little earlier, and I agree. There's so much parity in college lacrosse right now, so you really have to look back at the previous champions, and what's evident is that the X factor is going to be the goaltending. Back-to-back years, Notre Dame has won on the backs of Liam Entenmann, the best goalie in the country. The year before that, Maryland ran the table with an undefeated record in Logan McNaney, who's the current goaltender at Maryland, and he is the best goaltender in the nation right now, and he's going to run this Terps team all the way to the top. That's been the main difference when it comes down to college lacrosse. Everyone has these diversified offenses. There's so many good teams right now in college lacrosse. Every team has lost. There's been so many different teams at the top this year, but when you really break it down, the X's and O's, it's the goaltending that's going to win it, and it's going to be Logan McNaney that takes the Terps to the top this year.
Hudson, what you got?
I gotta be honest though, I just mentioned it a million times. I don't know how much more I can pound it into your head. No one is even close to Cornell. You can throw out Maryland, but nobody is close. Nobody is close right now to Cornell. They are blowing teams out by very wide margins. It does not matter who they face because they have the best goal scorers in the country. They have the most diversified, he said diversified portfolio, diversified attack. They have the best diversified attack in the country. And the one thing you look at as well in those games is hero ball. You look at the best players in the country making the best plays. There is nobody right now who can stop CJ Kirst. That's evident. He's going to win the Tewaaraton. He will put this team on his back to get to that point. I don't think Maryland's offense can compete. I know Logan McNaney is great. You know who beats Logan McNaney? Who would pretty consistent? I mean, CJ Kirst would blow Logan McNaney's socks off. He's very good, but no, we've never seen CJ Kirst. He did in the national
championship
a couple years ago. We have seen Liam Entenmann before be great. We have seen CJ Kirst be even greater at certain moments. Jordan, this got to be a blowout.
You know, Max talked about Liam Entenmann being the best goalie in the country, leading Notre Dame to the last 2 national championships. Well, the best player in the country right now, CJ Kirst. Yeah. Notre Dame also had Pat Kavanaugh on their team. He was also pretty good. 3-3 tie. Bonus question up next. We got Max going first for this one again. What coach in college lacrosse has the most to gain in the month of May?
Time to sprinkle a little pulp on no pulp because it's Syracuse head coach Gary Gait. Because Syracuse right now, they pretty much have nothing to lose. 3 straight losses coming into this month. And going into the ACC tournament against a Notre Dame team that they've already beat this season, they're just 2-3 when it comes to road matchups and neutral site matchups this year. So you're already fighting an uphill battle, and barring any big comeback by any teams or any bid stealers, Syracuse is going to be the underdog for the rest of the season. And Gary Gait has a chance to completely flip the script on what's been a tragic end to the season for the Orange.
Jordan, do you know who Nick Myers is?
No, I don't.
Exactly, and he is a coach of a potential #1 seed in Ohio State. Ohio State has been disrespected the entire year. Nobody is taking them seriously. They will be a very, very high seed in this tournament. Nobody is taking them seriously, and this is the biggest year for the Big Ten to step up. You've never heard of Nick Myers. Jordan had to Google Nick Myers because he didn't know who Nick Myers was. That is precisely why he has so much to gain, because he's going from nothing to absolutely everything with a chance to put himself on the map in this tournament.
You know, I look at this is a tough one because you can really go either side or the other. But you talk about who needs to gain the most. The expectation for Syracuse is national championships. There's not much Gary can gain unless he gets to the Final Four or wins a national title.
No way.
Ohio State hasn't been there. Myers wins it. Hudson going to the Juicer Finals against Chloe Smars. That's going to be a fun matchup. We look at the bracket right now. Hudson Ridley, Chloe Smars, the final. I mean, just meant to be. When you look at it, comes back from down 3-0 and earns his spot in the finals. Chloe almost lost it up 3-0. Yeah. You come back. We got a big finals coming up next on No Pulp, the Juicer finale. You won't want to miss it, everyone.
Am I standing? I'm still here.